Yeah, let's do it. Good morning. Great morning. Wonderful morning. Spectacular morning. Outstanding morning. Magnificent morning. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious morning. Again, the beautiful reminder of choice that you have, that I have, that we all have. Why do I keep repeating that at the beginning of every one of these calls? Well, there's a reason. And that's repetition is the mother of learning. I mean, really think about that. Think about your name right now. Why do you remember your name wherever you go? Well, it's because it was said again and again and again and again and again. See, it was said enough times to the point of where you accepted it, and now it's something that's in you subconsciously. Now, with that being said, this message that I share with you of the reminder that you get to choose, that is one of the most important things for you to understand, because that is where the change starts. Think about that. The meanings you give things, how you're thinking. You don't become what you're thinking about most of the time. You become how you're thinking most of the time. And how you're thinking is what's responsible for the results of your life. Think about that when it comes to how much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyle, all of that. See, that's where it starts. You want to change what's happening out there? You must first change what's happening in here, in your heart. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a woman thinketh in her heart, so is she. As you thinketh in your heart, so are you. Now, again, what's in the heart? What's in the heart is what's set there. That's your mindset. Your mindset is what's set in your mind. What's set in your mind are your beliefs and habits. Change your beliefs, change your habits. Guess what? Your life changes. Different things will be done unto you based from that. And that's what we're wanting you to get. This is why we have these study calls every morning to continue to reinforce that idea of a powerful inner narrative, which will lead to a powerful outer result. And the more you practice this, and by the way, that's a key component. Remember, knowing this is not going to do jack shit for you. Having this information as something that's an encyclopedia of information, it's not going to do anything for you. It's the application of it, it's the use of it. That's what's going to lead you to understand it, which will then lead you to feeling great and not having the weight of the tyranny of second causes on you. See, we deal with primal cause. Now, what have we been studying? We've been studying this beautiful gem here, The Secret of the Ages. If you don't have a copy of this, I highly recommend you do get a copy of it, because what we've been reading, oh my gosh, it's life-changing if you use it. Now, this is a book written by Robert Collier, written in the early 1900s, and it literally is a secret, but not because it's a secret. It's because many people are unaware of, the power that they have inside of them. I mean, think about that for you. Your greatest power, for instance, is your agency, your ability to act or be acted upon, to choose your thoughts, to originate ideas. No one can force you to think the thoughts you think. That is one of the core messages within this book. But see, again, it's one thing to know it, it's another thing to actually use it. Now, with that being said, if you haven't been used to using that great power of yours, it might be a challenge for you to engage with that and use it consistently, so where it's super easy for you to think only great thoughts. But the only reason why it would be a struggle is just because you're not used to it. See, that's where understanding paradigms comes into play. So with that being said, remember, everything is difficult before it becomes easy. And the more you practice, the easier it gets. Okay, sound good? All right, so you guys ready? Let's dive into where we left off in this big, beautiful gem here, The Secret of the Ages by Robert Collier. Let's move into this. Here we go. Okay, so where we are is in chapter 4, desire. The first law of gain. This is on page 74 if you have this version here that we've published, okay? Now, listen to what's said here. Ah, love, could thou and I with fate conspire to grasp this sorry scheme of things entire, would we not shatter it to bits and then remold it near to the heart's desire? The Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. You know, it's a beautiful statement there. You know, it's a reference to how you could change your life by locking into what you would love. Now, I love this piece. If you had a fairy wish ring, what one thing would you wish for? Now imagine that you have a fairy wish ring, okay? Wealth, honor, fame, love. What one thing do you desire above everything else in life? What is it? Whatever it is, you can have it. Whatever you desire wholeheartedly with singleness of purpose, you can have. But the first of all important essential is to know what this one thing is. Before you can win your heart's desire, you've got to get clearly fixed in your mind's eye with what you want. Now, think about that for a moment. Now, here he says, you know, whatever you desire wholeheartedly with singleness of purpose. And you know what's fascinating? This reveals that this is where Napoleon Hill got definiteness of purpose. It came from this guy. But think about that for you. Think about what you would love for your life, the outcome that you would love to make a tangible reality in your outer world. Whatever that is, you can do it, provided you lock into it, provided you become one with it, provided you stop thinking of it and instead start thinking from it, as what Neville Goddard shares. I mean, look at what he says here at the end. Before you can win your heart's desire, you've got to get you got to get clearly fixed in your mind's eye what it is you want. You've got to know what you want. It's got to be clear. And then with that, you've got to be loyal to it. That's what he's saying. Now, it may sound paradoxical, but few people do know what they want. You know what? That's true. Dolly and I, we talk to a lot of people. We ask people, you know, what do they want? And I don't know. But why is it that they don't know? It's because they're so used to just thinking from what they need. What's familiar in them is operating from what they know they can do, what they think they can do, not what they really want. Oh my gosh, that's too scary. Think about how many messages are out there for people not to set the goal too high because you'll disappoint yourself. Boy, that's foolish. But see, the people who say that are operating from a very low paradigm, not thinking or believing that people are capable of so much more if they just use the gifts they have within them. Now, with this, most of them struggle along in a vague sort of way, hoping like macabre or something to turn up. They are so taken up with the struggle, they have forgotten, if they ever knew, what it is they are struggling for. Oh my gosh, how many people are like that around? How many of you actually have experienced that? You're so caught in the struggle. What the struggle is so familiar that, you know what? It's foreign to think about what you would really, really love. See, there's a paradigm in there. They're like a drowning man. They use up many times the energy it would take to get them somewhere, but they fritter it away in aimless struggles without thought, without direction, exhausting themselves while getting nowhere. See, that's what's called stuck. Maybe that's you. Maybe you are stuck right now. Maybe you're sick and tired of being stuck. And you know what? You want to be free. Well, the solution lies in you mastering what's inside, understanding who you are and how your marvelous, miraculous, incredible, powerful mind works. See, that's where it's at. All of your problems are mental in nature, which means the solutions are mental in nature. If you change how you're thinking, you're going to change your outcomes. So you've got to build it in your own mind first, exactly as how he shared it here in the chapter of Primal Cause. The secret of all power, all success, all riches is in first thinking powerful thoughts, successful thoughts, sense of wealth, supply. We must build them in our own mind first. See, that's where you've got to start. And that's where it's always started. And that's the way it's always going to be. As within, so without. See, that's the principle at play. You become how you're thinking most of the time. Change how you're thinking, you'll change your life. Now, before we proceed to go further, those of you who are watching this live stream and you're feeling a great connection to this and would love to continue with the rest of this call, which is being recorded, do yourself a favor and go to elevitality.com. Don't settle for just this opening segment. Set your standard high. Go to elevitality.com and register for Master Your Mind. You will thank yourself later. From there, you'll also get access to the replays. All right, so now let's continue, shall we?